I don't know.
We're
That's
back.
It. We're back.
We're back from last week's episode.
We're back from last week's episode. For those of you guys who've been sitting around waiting for the next episode, we're back. I don't know. I guess.
Dinosaur Tale? Yeah.
So yeah. It's a plug for that new movie. So, Mr. John, how's your week? What's going on, man?
Let's see what's going on this week. I got a promotion at work. That's kind of cool.
Congrats. That's cool.
Anything else new? Started playing Before the Storm. Life is Strange. I'm trying to get back into gaming.
Yeah, dude, I fucking love that game.
It's hella on sale, so I got it for like $5.
Nice. An appropriate terminology. Assuming that was on purpose.
Indeed.
Okay.
Next Saturday, finally going to be laying down the rest of the tracks for the EP.
Badass.
Yeet. That's it. Patrick.
A lot of Switch. Not Pokemon though. I kind of put that on the shelf for now.
Mm-hmm.
I passed Fuchsia City and then got tired.
As one does.
Yeah. Well, not to mention I just played nothing but that for a while. So, but anyways, Katana Zero dropped this past. What the fuck is today? This past Thursday?
Yeah.
/ Friday / whenever the fuck it came out, and it's fucking great. It's a really good game. It's published by Devolver, and then ASCII Soft or whatever was the one who did who's the actual developers of it, and it's a great game. Honestly, it's one of my favorite games I played in a while. It's I don't know how to describe it. It's a mix between a side-scrolling slasher and but puzzles. There's strategy to how you do it. So essentially, the gameplay is you'll go through a room and you have to meticulously plan your kills because you basically only have multiple tries. You have infinite tries to try to do it.
Yeah.
But every time you fuck up, it rewinds and then you got to do the whole room again. Anytime, you got to basically. So basically, to make it easy to explain, because it's going to be really hard for me to not, but I'm going to make up a dungeon. So basically, I'll go through a room. And I have to figure out, how am I going to get through this door, kill this guy? So let's say I pop in, slash the first guy, deflect the bullet on the next guy, throw a Molotov cocktail at the next room to kill everyone in that room. Mm-hmm. Fucking ninja slide past the laser, cut the next guy open, deflect the next bullet. It takes a lot of trial and error, and you basically clear each room by learning it through trial and error.
That's kind of
Sometimes
cool.
what they'll do is at the very end, they'll even make a last guy run in and pop you in the face and be like, fuck, now I got the whole thing again, now I got to remember. Fuck! Guy runs in at the end. It's really cool.
Yeah.
It's got an interesting story. It's very obscure. You kind of really don't know what's going on, but they do a lot of effects where it's very fucking retro 80s drive aesthetics. One of my favorite things that they do in it is every time the protagonist you play as, known as the dragon, when you start the level, you'll hear him click on his tape player. You're assuming he's wearing the old little metal band headphones, and he's clicking the tape player, and then that starts the background music, but you're really hearing what he's hearing as he goes through and kills
really,
each. It's kind of it reminds me of did you ever watch Baby Driver?
Yeah.
I remember how he had to. Well, he doesn't have it for the same reasons, but it reminds me of that, where it would become the background music of the scene because he's doing that stuff. And anyways, but it's a great game though, fantastic. The developers themselves, this is kind of their first big smash hit.
Yeah. And
Devolver always publishes a bunch of really great games, so I love it. Katana Zero, you guys should check it out. $15 on Switch and Steam.
Boy.
I don't know if it's anywhere else at the moment, but Switch and Steam for sure. So check it out. Definitely well worth the $15. Alternate ways to play. Your decisions affected. There's multiple endings, so that's really good. I also started playing. What the hell? I bought a million games, so I can't remember half of the ones. Oh, I continued The Messenger. I forgot if I talked that on the podcast. If I did, well, I continued that. If not, you guys now know I've been playing it. But I'm stuck on a boss now, so I was looking for other games to play while I'm stuck on that. Which always sucks when some of those, the thing with the platformer games like that, the retro style, is that they bring back the retro difficulty.
Yeah.
So some of those games get really hard. But
never going back to that boss again.
I might not, so it depends. But anyways, but Messenger's another really great game, great soundtrack. That's the thing about those games. I love those soundtracks because they don't do chiptune for chiptune's sake. They actually make some really great jams that happen to have that 16-bit sound.
Yeah, it's more really authentic.
Cool. Yeah, exactly. You can tell that they do it in that style because they want to, not because it's cool or they're trying to be retro. And that's the thing I love about it. I'm just hooked onto those kind of indie games that are not retro for retro's sake, but retro in spirit. Like, these guys are still developing out of what they grew out of. And aspired to grow out of, and so they're like, who cares if it's 2019, we can still make the games we wanted to make when we were growing up. So it's really cool. It's very authentic, a lot of these guys, whether it's fucking the Shovel Knight guys, Yacht Club Games, and the guys who made The Messenger. I forgot that studio, sorry guys, but you guys are great too. It's just a lot of good stuff coming out. So let's get right into the news. Speaking of retro, Capcom announcing the games that are actually going to be included in the Castlevania collection, which will be dropping on Switch this month, which is great. I believe it's mid-May. I forgot if they had an exact date, but it is in the middle of May. It's going to be great. It's going to contain the following games. Great collection for anyone who's never really delved deep into the Castlevania series. It's awesome. It's going to have Castlevania 1. Good. It's going to have
that's hard.
Right. It's going to have the Belmonts and Simon's Quest 2.
Okay.
Both number 2s. Castlevania 3, Super Castlevania 4,
nice.
Castlevania Bloodlines, even Kid Dracula, and Castlevania The Adventure. So, like,
okay, so
lots
all
of
the classics,
really great titles. Like, all the classics are going to be in there. And I believe, I forgot if they officially announced the price point, but less than $30.
That's not bad.
Or at least, or 30.
It's
even
well
30 would be
it.
Fine. They also announced they are doing a Contra collection, which will be really cool. Because Contra 1 and 2 is great. And if they throw in the whatever the newest Contra was called, the one that came out a few years ago on like indie platforms like Xbox Arcade and stuff like that, that was a really good one too. So if they do that, Contra is another great series. I love these collections when they're done like this, where they give you lots of bang for your buck. Like how the Phoenix, not that Phoenix Wright is even close to as old, but the Phoenix Wright trilogy came out for $30. You get all 3 classic games, all HD high resed up. So very cool. Yeah, very nice. Excited at that. What else do we got? The trailer for No Straight Roads came out like the day after we recorded the last podcast. I don't know. I think it looks pretty cool. I love rhythm games, so this kind of like reminds me of either Gal Metal or Guitar Hero or even Bust a Group / Bust a Move type of games. So I don't know. I personally like it. It has an interesting aesthetic and narrative. Did you see the trailer for that?
I did. It looks cool. I feel like a younger me would like it more.
You're not really into rhythm games anymore?
Well, the style, yeah. From a narrative perspective.
I see.
The whole, like, we're going to take down the EDM.
It's a little, okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, it's a little for kids.
Just funny because I'm a folk singer myself, so it's like, I should be on board with this, but no, I like EDM. No, it looks fun.
That is an interesting thing where it poses, I guess, pop rock versus EDM.
Yeah, like why is that the big bad?
Which is a little weird to do to, I guess, pit genres against each other because you can only kind of be problematic unintentionally that way. But the game still looks good.
I don't even feel like EDM is like a big driving force anymore. But I mean, it's still there. It's always been there, but it's not the peak that it was a couple years ago. But anyway, no, it looks fun. I love rhythm games. Been a big fan.
I'm very looking forward to that. We'll see. I believe it's on PS4, and I think that's it for now. I believe. Maybe
I don't know
Steam.
if it's a time
everything's
exclusive.
Everything's almost like whatever console and PC.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the format right now, which is great if you're a PC player, because at one point there was almost nothing, not nothing, but wow, I was going to get crucified for saying that.
Right.
At one point there were so many games that weren't coming out on PC. Now there's like nothing that isn't coming out on PC.
Yeah, everything is
for
PC.
Gamers. Again, they kind of back on their saddle with getting all these Bayonetta's out now. A lot of the Platinum Game stuff dropped on it. And
PC's lame. It's all about the consoles.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Said no one ever.
I know, right?
Master Chief, of course, was cast Pablo Schreiber. The only thing...
Yes.
He's been in a lot of stuff, but Orange is the New Black is the thing that I think was one of his main credited works that I saw.
The most recent one is American Gods. He is...
Okay, so I never watched American Gods.
Mad Sweeney.
Okay, so go ahead, John.
I'm a huge Halo fan. Massive. I've met Master Chief. Great guy.
And I'm not just trying to stage this. I am curious. Yeah. Did you already hear about this before right now?
I did.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay, that's what I figured.
Yeah. So I like Pablo Schreiber as Mad Sweeney. I think he did a great job. Okay. Mad Sweeney, was that his name in American Gods? Somebody correct me. It's been a while since I've watched and read it. But he did a great job. I like him in there. I think he's a great actor. As far as the Chief, those are some heavy boots to fill.
Would you rather... Well, what would you name him? Would you say... Okay... I can't say no name, obviously, but he's no Brad Pitt. With that being said, would you rather it be someone lesser known than him, more known than him, or is he probably one of the better chances, like his caliber of celebrity, one of the better chances Chief has? Unless you have an ideal Chief in mind.
I do.
Who is your ideal Chief?
Well, let me take this first.
Sure.
Here's the thing. I feel like this is going to try and humanize the Chief, which is good, because that's what the books have been doing for the past, 2 decades almost.
From the casuals like me who only know the games, he doesn't seem to have any personality.
Yeah, see. Halo 4 tried to rectify that, which is great, and then Halo 5... we don't talk about. But they've constantly... Chief is a person, before anything else. What I think needs to be done in a series like this is he needs to get the Vader treatment. Where, we didn't see Vader's face till the very end, which is what you did in 4, which would be... It's cool. That's how you need to treat Chief, because Steve Downes is the Master Chief. Chief is identifiable by his helmet and his voice. So put any actor you want behind the armor, but have Steve Downes do the voice. That being said, I think it's really hard to find someone who could play John, not the Chief, but the person he actually is. I'm interested to see Pablo Schreiber's take. I like him as an actor, and I think he'll do a good job. But that all relies on the writers and what kind of story they're going to present for us. But I'm in it. It's Halo, so I can't not be a part of it.
At least give a chance, right?
Yeah, of course.
With that being said, I'm curious. What is your... I'm going to assume you're going to say Halo 5, or do you have another one that's your least favorite Halo-related work?
ODST.
Ah. Oh, that's right, because there was no real Spartans in it, right? It was just the Marine boys?
Yeah, it's ODSTs, and it's not bad. It's a pretty decent game, not graphically.
So the gameplay... I heard the gameplay was fine, but the story wasn't great.
Man. The story's cool.
Okay.
It's filler. It would have worked better as a book, I think. Why it got made into a game, I guess just to introduce Buck and give Nathan Fillion a paycheck, which I'm okay with. Love okay. Nathan Fillion. Yeah, cool guy. Great guy. No, 5's not terrible. It's just they 180'd the story, and it feels like they're just trying to pick up the pieces there. I could go on for days about this.
Right.
Yeah, ODST is my least favorite Halo.
And then, of course, Xbox. More of the Xbox sad details coming out. They said it is going to be May 7th release, so the sooner, and we'll see where that goes. Again, I think it's a good idea. They did name a price of $249, which was a little bit higher than we anticipated, but to be fair, I was looking on Amazon prices. So when this launches, it may also be cheaper on Amazon. I'm still thinking it's going to be $50 less than whatever the Xbox One S's going price is. So if you go to a retail store and the Xbox One S is $300 or $299, this will be the $249.
$249.
If you go on Amazon and it's $199, this $199, this will be the $150.
That's not bad.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But even at $249, it's not a bad idea. It'll be interesting to see where Xbox goes with this, and of course, if there's going to be other versions of the Xbox announced, because they've already expanded the family quite a bit. You have the original Xbox One. You have the Xbox One S, which is 4K capabilities, and basically a 0.5 version before the Xbox One X came out.
Yeah.
Then you have the Xbox One X, which is factually at the moment the most powerful console on the market right now. Unfortunately, it doesn't have any games, but hardware-wise, really high up there. And then now you have the Xbox Sad, which is now going to be there, and it's honestly, in my opinion, a great compromise between how most people consume video game media now digitally and the Xbox One S. So it basically has all the bells and whistles of the S minus the disc drive.
Yeah, we touched on it last time.
To save $50, pretty cool.
It's a lot of people just go digital now. You stream in, and I know maybe 3 people that still buy the disc.
Exactly. It's just not... They just don't give you any incentive because nothing comes with the disc anymore. Back when you got a badass manual and all that, it was really cool. And then now...
Yeah, except for the Steelbook. I mean, even then, I have a pile of Steelbooks that don't have discs in them.
Right, which we covered last time, but our point well made again.
Yeah.
So there's that, and Xbox announced that, which is going to be related to something we have to talk about a little bit later on the podcast related to PlayStation. But for now, we have to talk about Overwatch Storm Rising. I have zero 100% hands-on, but I know you got a little bit in there, John. But first, let's go over the details real quick.
Yeah.
It's going to be an event running on between the 16th of April all the way to the 6th of May, so you guys got a lot of time to still get in there.
Mm-hmm.
They've dropped a few new things. I'm going to talk about the factual stuff they dropped, and then John's going to get a little bit into his opinion on the actual event itself. They dropped new skins for McCree, Soldier 76, Bastion, Moira, Ashe, Baptiste, Junkrat, Hammond, and Zarya.
Yep.
I believe it's a co-op, once again, a co-op-based mission for the event.
Mm-hmm.
And then a new location, Havana, that dropped as well because of with the update, right?
Correct, Amundo.
And then you can also collect up to 3 new intros, one for Hammond, one for Doomfist, and one for Hanzo.
Yep.
So you got all that stuff. So it's pretty cool. This is the thing. Here's what I got to say real quick. Everyone cried about the loot box thing. We beat this to death, but loot boxes are not a problem because they're completely optional and they do nothing for you. Blizzard is not forcing anyone to buy loot boxes. You can earn them.
Mm-hmm.
It's not my fault you want a skin and just have bad luck.
Yeah.
It's really not their problem. They're giving you the option to get more loot boxes, but you do not have them, and it does not make you any better. It's all aesthetic bullshit, whatever.
Yeah.
And also, what I'd love to say is Overwatch is one of the best bang for the buck $60 games I've ever bought, because ever since I spent that initial $60 on it, how much fucking content have we gotten?
Mm-hmm.
No season pass bullshit. No paying for map packs bullshit. No DLC expansion bullshit. This is great. This is how games should be coming out.
Yes, exactly. I agree.
Rant aside, John, take it away on talking about the event itself. Maybe light spoilers, but we're not going to get anything too heavy.
No,
so
crazy,
take the stage, John.
Before I go into that, touching back to what you said about if you didn't get the skin you wanted,
Right.
just wait. Comes back around, and they launch at 3,000 gold. When it comes back, it's 1,000
Save,
gold, which
save,
more people
save.
have. Yeah,
Play
so,
and save.
Yeah, Overwatch is damn near perfect.
It's really great.
Going into Storm Rising, it was fun. The opening cinematic is great. Very, very well detailed. Like, you can tell they put a lot of work into it. Gameplay's fun. It's not as difficult as the last two. For me, Uprising, 2 years on, I still haven't beat Uprising. I played again today, and we just got our asses handed to us by the Omnics. The gameplay was cool. They toned down the difficulty a little bit. I played as Winston, so that was nice. I never really get to play as him.
Real quick, do they have a set characters that you play as like they do in the other events? Like in the Halloween one, you can only play as Hanzo, McCree, snipers, basically?
Yes.
Okay.
Which I like, because it forces you in a way to try
Expand
characters.
Right, so who do we have here? Winston?
We have Winston, Mercy, Genji, and Deva.
Who are all on the team, the good guy team, whatever.
Yeah, this is, according to the lore, this is a sanctioned Overwatch op.
Okay.
The
is this current timeline? Like
commander?
This is current events?
No, I believe this takes place 6 years prior to the event. Yeah,
okay.
the events of the game. And the commander is Sojourn, who is maybe a new hero, maybe not.
Interesting.
We've seen her before, but you
That'd
never know. Yeah, it'd be cool. See what she does. She seems like
That's
she'd
the
be
thing that's so great
a
about
DPS
Overwatch.
character.
Is as Overwatch adds this lore, cinematics, and side characters, there's so much potential for everyone to become they can add hundreds of characters, and as long as they continue in the great design and interesting lore that they have in it, it could keep going for a while.
Yeah, man, it's like MK.
Overwatch 2 does not Overwatch 2 does not need to happen for a while because this game's still going and still going strong in my opinion.
If ever, you kind
keep
of
going.
it's
Just
just
supporting.
Overwatch. Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing, Blizzard. You don't need the sequel.
You guys are doing a great job, man.
Yeah.
Blizzard's like Rockstar on that level of people who just do shit right.
Right.
None of them may really ever do anything entirely original per se, but goddamn do they perfect the things they do.
That's all that really counts, as long as you're having a good time. Which
Exactly.
Overwatch is still fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Storm Rising was
what are
great.
your thoughts?
Narrative was cool. Introduced some new Talon baddies, and potentially another new character, and that's all I'll say.
Right.
But yeah, it was very fun. I was just trying it out, and the new skins are great. I love.
Oh god, Bastion!
what's
I
his
usually
face?
don't like any of Bastion skins,
Yeah.
but that one looks sick.
A Tombstone I like, but I like spooky things. But
Right,
yeah, that one
sure.
looks fucking cool. The lore behind it's cool as well. Baptiste is Talon, apparently. According to his little snippet on
his
his
little
skin.
snippet,
but,
which is wild.
yeah, I
That's
didn't see that one
interesting.
coming,
Did
so
not see
that's
that, yeah,
an
because
interesting
he's such a
turn.
good guy.
Yeah. But yeah, check it out.
Definitely. What else did we get? Oh, IGN giving us a little cock tease of what KOTOR 3 was supposed to be.
God damn it.
Doesn't that, and they're right, this does happen to a lot of lost Star Wars games where lost
the Boba Fett game, lost the Darth Maul game,
that cool cyberpunk whatever, fucking Star Wars, whatever the fuck year or number it was. There are a lot of cool shit, and this just joins the list of rest in peace was gonna be cool. What did they highlight in there? They highlighted the kind of like a lot of focus on, they were gonna introduce several Sith, but unlike do what the movie did, where they just kind of introduced Sith pointlessly and there's no real backstory, they were going to allow you to delve in and learn more about these Sith, which was really cool. Lots of land exploration, kind of like going in the way that Mass Effect went with the series, kind of like expanding the universe more.
Yeah, it was going to focus more on Revan, what happened to him after 1. That's what I liked about the KOTOR games. They focus a lot on the Sith.
Yeah,
this one really gets me because I just started reading this Sith book. It's like about back in the Old Republic days, and I'm like, damn it, it's a really cool story.
It would have been. I think
it would have been great.
It's a damn shame. Man, Obsidian guys, if you could please pick this up and do it, that would be so great.
Please do.
Oh my god, what are they doing? The Outer Worlds right now?
Just take my money. Yeah,
exactly. If it could, Disney, do not fucking get in their way if they try to do this. Please just support them. This is something we really want.
Too late.
Got him. Let's see. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 is going to be coming out on Switch, which is really cool. I'm a big fan of the Ultimate Alliance games. Played a lot of that on 360 growing up, and they were, I don't know, it's just really cool. It's basically form your little 4-man Avengers and do your thing, run around on the different maps, fight stuff, solve puzzles. Like, it was cool.
No, that's where we get the...
It reminds me of the old, just the good old days when we would all play games together and had time and didn't have jobs.
What was it? Right. That's where we get that great shot that they put in the first Avengers and Civil War, where, Iron Man blasts into Cap Shield.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So that looks really great. Man, Switch getting all the support. I'm just going to say right now, pound for pound titles to surprisingly good performance, the Switch is killing it right now. Yeah. Obviously followed by PS4. PS4 still has their juicy exclusives, no doubt. Nier and Horizon Zero Dawn are great titles that obviously I'm glad I have my PS4 still.
Mm-hmm.
But that being said, Switch is just snagging it all up. Like, unless Ed Boon can, Ed Boon is a liar in a good way normally. So hopefully he's not. Hopefully he's a liar in a good way, or not a liar this time rather. I fucked that joke up, but anyways, but he does promise that Mortal Kombat 11 will run on the Switch on 60 frames, which is just essential for fast-paced games, especially fighting games.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being the case, I really do hope that that's true. I'll find out on Monday and let you guys know on next week's podcast because I'm picking it up for Switch.
Nice.
Finally made my decision on what to do. Fatalities on the go was too big of a sell for me to turn down. It'd be really great. So the game looks great though. Like most Switch games, I believe it'll be running at like 1200 by 900 on dock, and then 1920 by 710. Oh god, I don't know. I can't remember my resolutions now that I'm trying to be a cool tech guy. I fucked that all up. But anyways, it's running at 900p on docked and 720p on the go, which is what most of the games run at anyways. I tell you, man, 720, so we're still talking about HD console, handheld, that's amazing.
Yeah. The
battery life is about 3 hours, and it takes about 3 hours to charge, so you pretty much take as long to charge as it does to go. But it is USB Type-C, so it's fast and effective, and you can stay plugged in and still play.
Yeah.
But I tell you, that's always been a dream of mine when we went into the higher resolution, even PlayStation 1 days, we had the Vita, which did basically allow you to do PS1, PS2 caliber stuff, but for full HD on the go, it's great, man. Like I was playing at work today, I was playing Resident Evil Revelations 1 to go, and the game looks great still, and the fact that I'm playing that at work on a handheld console is great. Like, it's to me it still seems like witchcraft. But
no, it's nice that Nintendo could take Sony's hard work and perfect it.
Exactly. Moving on to a title I hope to see on Switch, but hasn't been announced for it yet, as far as I know, is Rage 2. Dropped their final preview before it's eventually going to come out.
That looks so good.
Rage 2 looks great. I know you didn't necessarily get turned on by the first one, but the second one does look really good. It has been doing great with Doom and Wolfenstein, and this kind of looks like it's following that same vein in terms of fluidity while still keeping its own flair, which is what makes id so great.
Yeah, that's
they can
what has me
basically
excited.
drop the same thing 4 different ways, but make them different enough that it's fun. They keep the things that work, and then they change the things to make it different enough. But they just showed more gameplay, more weapons, hot swapping, how quick the gameplay, how fast paced it is. It just looks really, really nice. It's a great looking game. Yeah. Not suffering the multi-disc problem that you brought up to me today, because I only played on digital. So John brought up to me that the first Rage actually came out multi-disc.
Yeah, at least
which is weird.
2 on PlayStation, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so
correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm thinking of something else, but I thought that was Rage. No, it looks fun. I'm a big id faithful. I have all the Wolfensteins. I have the new Doom.
And man, does Wolfenstein 2 and Doom run creamy on the Switch. What they do, going back to the Switch again, is they use a really cool technology. And actually, PlayStation and Xbox kind of do this, but like Switch has kind of really done a good job with it, where it adjusts the resolution in real time, so that way you don't lose out on major frames or get ultra lag. So nice. It'll go from 720, say handheld for example, Doom will go from 720 to 480 or even 360p, depending on the situation. If there's a shitload of fire and everything's going to lag up your console, it'll drop to 480 or 360 just to avoid lag.
So
nice. Your frame rate stays as smooth as possible.
Yeah.
And then when there's a little less enemies or less environmental shit that might fuck up your frame rate, it'll shoot it back up to 720 and does it in real time compression. So that way, you get a smooth experience as best as possible while sacrificing a little bit of HD clarity. But honestly, with the size of the Switch screen, with pixel density, you really don't give up too much. So it's really cool. Back to the Switch again. What else do we got? Oh, Samurai Showdown dropping another character trailer for Darly Danger. So the cool thing about Samurai Showdown, that's an old school franchise that a lot of fighting game community people love. It's one of those things that kind of remind everyone of the Darkstalker days, kind of like that whole deal. And it looks really cool. The graphics kind of remind me of how Street Fighter has kind of come in terms of art style over the years. Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5. So obviously Capcom, so it still has that look.
Yeah.
So Samurai Showdown looking pretty good. They showed the trailer for the latest character, and John did like the art style, and I was thinking about why. It is because it is that kind of very bright aesthetic that they've been using in the later Street Fighters. So yeah, it looks good. I think it looks really fun. Nice. Yeah. So I'm curious to see that, and if there are going to be any cameos, it'll be nice to see if Samurai Showdown's gameplay comes in good enough to be at EVO on the main stages. It had a lot of unique mechanics to the way that the game played that people either loved or maybe weren't a fan of Samurai Showdown because of it. And it's nice to see them bringing that back and not just making a generic fighter, but bringing back to a true sequel to Samurai Showdown, which is pretty cool. I guess it's almost like a reboot because it's been so goddamn long. They're probably kind of just making another game more than a sequel.
Samurai Showdown.
It's not it was never really a mainstream. There's no Street Fighter Mortal Kombat essentially. Yeah. It never was that in the annals of fighting game history. Never be like that big, but it was a cult favorite.
Who would they have cameo? Like what kind of
Street Fighter? Anyone? Just a Capcom fighting franchises, basically. That's Mega what I'm
Man?
thinking. Maybe. Who knows? They have done random stuff like that before.
Ooh, you know who'd be cool in it? Zero.
That? Oh yeah, that'd be pretty cool. I think other than Marvel vs. Capcom, I can't think of what else if he's ever appeared in anything else. But that would be really cool.
Yeah, put him in Smash. Why not?
Hell yeah.
Actually, hell yeah.
If it comes out on Switch, I mean, it might. MK11, of course, final trailer before launching. This upcoming looks so good. Bringing back the nostalgic music,
I just want to say
everything. Go, do it.
I mean, I love Mortal Kombat. I always will, but it seems like they've reached the narrative apex that every single series reaches, where we're kind of out of ideas. So time travel, multiverse. All right,
but
which isn't a bad thing.
It at least works with Mortal Kombat being ridiculous.
And this is
if Street Fighter did that, that'd be a little weird. Exactly.
Yeah, no, I loved young Johnny Cage, vibing off of old Johnny Cage, and I like Noob Saibot going up to new Sub-Zero. Like it works in this case. I'm just throwing that a little side in there.
Right, of course.
No, I'm excited for it.
I'm very curious to see what they'll add post-launch, how good the support will be, but I'm very excited. Soon, you guys will hear about my impressions on the next podcast for sure.
Did you pre-order it to get Shao Kahn?
Oh my god.
That's who it is, right? Shao Kahn?
It's Shao Kahn. But at least they already announced you can buy it separately even if you don't.
Well, yeah, it's everything. Yeah.
But fuck it.
So excited.
Respawn Entertainment. This is not necessarily a new thing, but I did want to bring this up because I've been trying to bring this up the last couple of times and I just kept forgetting. Respawn did mention that they do hear the demands, so they're looking into it. Of course, it probably won't be the easiest thing to do. Apex Legends on Switch.
Ooh,
a game like Apex Legends on the go, being able to play that with your mates whenever you want, that would be cool. So let's hope. But they said don't get your hopes up, but they are looking into trying to do that because there's a lot of demand for it.
Good guy, Respawn.
Speaking of a lot of demand, there's a lot of demand for our sponsor, Radio Public. Radio Public is a podcast app on iOS and Android where you can listen to a ton of different podcasts, including our own. And you listen on there, it does support the podcasters directly, assuming they're part of the paid listens program, like we are.
Yes, sir.
So make sure to check that out in the link in our description. Oh, no, our link in the description below. Fuck. All right, almost smooth.
It's all right. It's late.
It's okay. All right. I know, right? It's opposite time.
Right.
Mistakes happening because it's late, not because it's early like it usually is.
Either way, we never do this.
If we sound more awake than normal, that's why. But, yeah.
Lots of G fuel.
13 Remake. Very obscure, very random drop of a trailer coming out of nowhere. I know you weren't. I don't think you're familiar with 13, but
like I've seen it.
It was a cel-shaded, like gritty noir shooter that came out on like PS2.
Yeah.
So you may not remember it, but it was pretty fun, and it's funny that this dropped. I was just talking to someone the other day about it, just randomly. I was just like, "Man, you remember 13? No one I know really knows about 13. I wish it'd be cool to see." Remaster of it, and I shit you not, then this fucking trailer dropped like a couple days later, which is great, but it'll be interesting. For those of you who never knew 13 or too young, because, PS2 didn't exist, or it wasn't even the main console anymore when you were born. Oh yeah, it didn't exist back then. Fuck. We'll see. It's coming out on PS4, so you'll be able to check that out. Fallout 76 dropping some updates, but who cares?
Why?
Capcom announcing the Home Arcade, a pluggable... It kind of, I guess you could see it as like the NES Classic or the SNES Classic or the Sega Classic or the PlayStation Classic. Everyone else getting on the trend. Cool. This just seems to be Capcom's version. It's an arcade stick you can plug in via HDMI, I'm almost 100% sure, and then you play games that are preloaded on it. I mean, it looks fine. The stick itself looks like good quality. Yeah. It'd be interesting if you could use that. It looks a little too bulky for fighting game enthusiast thing, but I think it looks pretty cool, so it'd be interesting to see if you can use it beyond just the preloaded memes on it, but we'll see.
It's literally just Capcom's logo.
It is, I know, right? No, well, I mean, I don't like that part of it, but I like the gold buttons and the accents and stuff look pretty cool.
Like, wow, good job, Capcom.
Reggie's Twitter pics, goodbye pics. He was like cleaning out his office, thanking everyone for the support and the memories, and he was going through his office, and as he put important items away, was kind of like, man, remember when this or remember that, and he was getting all touchy and nostalgic. It was sad.
The Reggie helmet,
yeah, the Reggie helmet. Good old Reggie, man. Great
bon voyage, Reg. Thanks for everything.
Yes, thank you for the memes, man. It was good times, and you did what most people would make us cringe. We loved it. We reveled in it.
Oh yeah, it was great.
The stuff that he did. He had that charisma, and I hope that Bowser could pick up the scraps and deliver us.
You wanna talk about that picture?
No. So, let me be transparent with you guys. We're going to talk about some conspiracy theory, stupid-ass picture of Reggie. I'm sure, you know what, if you haven't heard about it, good. If you have, I'm so sorry, but we're just going to skip that. It's not
Let us know what you think.
It's just stupid.
Oh,
it's one of those conspiracy theory things that like I thought would be funny to talk about, and then now that we're talking about cool stuff, I'm like, it's kind of dumb.
It's so, like, reading too much into it. A bit.
But you know it isn't dumb. Did you hear the new GameStop news, my friend?
No, I didn't. What?
So GameStop, the dying company, taking something we addressed lately, very recently, I believe we addressed it on the last podcast, and doing it. GameStop announcing that within the first 48 hours of a game's release, they will give you full credit back if you return a game within the first 2 days of launch.
Well, at least GameStop listened to our podcast.
I know, right?
It's interesting. Good guy, good move.
You were just saying.
Yeah.
You were just saying, and I agreed fully. This is what it should be.
That's how it should go, yeah.
2 days is more than fair enough to know if you like a game or not.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not playing it hardcore with it,
if you get Fallout 76, it takes about 2 hours to figure out you don't want this shit anymore.
Cough 2 minutes.
There you go. But yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Assuming there's no caveats, watch this bullshit.
I know, I watched.
Only from AAA developers or only from X titles announced will be available, whatever. But
not applicable to EA.
It's all
without the EA pass.
Jesus Christ. Assuming it's not a big asterisk next to it, Nice.
Yeah, good
and
move.
a move they kind of need to make.
Well, they need to make
survive.
10 years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, no, good catching up to the rest of us.
Speaking of catching up to the rest of us, BioWare doing a bunch of job postings to create a team to save Anthem.
Oof.
So basically, one of the biggest problems that Anthem had, aside being bad, was it's a looter shooter, right?
Yeah.
What happens...
that's what they call it.
When the looter shooter mechanic is just completely fucked. Basically, here's what was happening. I don't know if you kept arguing this, but I'm going to I know everyone's going to actually me because I'm going to simplify it to like an ape's brains like competence, but I'm just trying to make a point here is why I'm going to just... Basically, what was happening is the system on how loot was distributed was so random and so bad that you could get an exotic and just have it not be that great. That's fine, that happens.
Yeah.
You would play Borderlands and you would get the not epic version of something or whatever and you grind again until you get it.
Yeah.
That's a part of the looter shooter way.
Yeah.
But what this was doing is that because of the way the algorithm went and the way the math went and the way the guns were happening, basically you would have, if you have all your armor on and all your weapons, it would basically say that your max thing is 100. But when you put on certain items or equip certain things, it would minus X amount or add X amount, but it would then all of a sudden detract 100 from this, but then it raises you 25 on this and so on and so forth.
Okay.
What people basically discovered, that's a really terrible way to explain it, I'm sure, but what basically happened is people discovered that because of all this math bullshit, if you just use the base pistol for the equivalent, I think it was an assault rifle or pistol, whatever. Mm-hmm. But basically, imagine only using the pistol in Halo to beat the whole game, because it turns out that if you don't equip anything else or you don't switch it out, raw damage value, the starting weapon's the best one. Because there is no detractor.
Wait, are you talking about
just
CE?
Stuck at, no, I'm not talking about any of that. Not actually any of that. But my point is, your starting gun in anything is the strongest gun.
Yeah.
Because there's no detracting value, because it's just a base level of maximum already, instead of having factors that can go away. So basically, everyone realized that there was no point in collecting weapons or loot, which is the whole point of the game, because it would just make you worse, basically.
Yeah. What the fuck?
So they realized they do have to, if they are going to save Anthem, they basically have to rework the entire system. And because of that, there's a bunch of job postings up right now where you can go work for BioWare and try to fix this game.
I'm going to apply.
Jesus.
See, we may be beating that dead horse, but they need to bury that dead horse.
Exactly. Speaking of things that need to be buried, Mr. Mime, did you 7-Eleven running a promotion right now? You can get a Pokemon Slurpee.
I need to get that.
Mystery flavor. I do want to get that too, actually, primarily just because of the cups.
Same.
It's a really ambiguous flavor. Doesn't tell you what it is, just has a grinning Mr. Mime on it, and it's a purple goo. That's a thing. And with that being said, it turns out that Mr. Mime almost didn't make it into Detective Pikachu.
Why?
It took a 2-year battle between the people working on the movie and Pokemon peeps in Japan.
Okay.
Because they deemed him, the way he looks, for example, a lot of people are kind of freaked out about him, basically said that, yeah, he's just a little too freaky. We kind of don't want him in this marketable game, blah, blah, blah. But they get fighting and they got him in there, and it was a whole deal. But apparently they went through so much stuff as to even have an actual mime consultant to make Mr. Mime stuff all pretty accurate to the mime world, so the mime enthusiasts shouldn't be angry about that. But it turns out, yeah, exactly. It sounds so creepy by some people in Pokemon Japan that he almost wasn't in there.
Well, he's hella creepy. He's creepy in the games. Like, everything about Mr. Mime is creepy.
It's true, and they're not saying that he's not creepy, but they were saying that that's why he shouldn't be in the game. I mean, the movie.
Well, who's in it? I know Ludicolo's in it, Jigglypuff.
A lot. And not just Gen 1, which is cool.
Yeah, no, it stretches out. That's what
I just like all the little fucking Bulbasaur army. That was the fucking best part.
Hell yeah. I want the Ludicolo cup. Ludicolo's cool.
Oh yeah, I know. I want the Psyduck one. I forgot what other ones, but we need a sub by 7-Eleven one of these days to grab as many of those as we can.
I love Ryan Reynolds, but it should have been Danny DeVito.
Yeah, true. But we'll take Ryan Reynolds. He's not a bad silver medal.
No, go Deadpool.
Alright, so the PlayStation 5. Did you hear about all this nonsense?
Heard.
I don't know why I said it was nonsense.
Rumblings.
It's not really nonsense
Twitter.
because it's actually true.
Yeah, all of it.
I don't want to say, when I say nonsense, I just mean, well, you'll get what I'm crying about in a second.
Yeah.
But
basic PlayStationery.
So the PS5 announced its supposed what it's gonna contain. Here's why it's a problem. It sounds too good to be true. For those of you who don't know what it's been announced, and this is like official Sony people, so this is done. This is like confirmed. They've all said it now. So if they go back on it now, like name changes and other stuff, and it's not there at launch, well, no one will be surprised because it's fucking Sony. Yeah. But here's what they promised.
Still gonna get
8K gaming. Why? First of all, no one, maybe 10% of people on Earth have 8K shit, so why? Second of all, you can't even do 60 frames in 1080. How about you give a 60 frame gaming first? That's some shit that's just standard issue on fucking PC now. You can't even give me that. How about you give me that, then worry about, you know what I mean? I don't give a fuck about 8K. If I don't have an 8K monitor or even a 4K monitor, you can enjoy that
8K.
Type of gaming.
Yeah, but 8K sounds better.
I know, and that's the thing. They're just going for buzzwords.
Yeah.
But anyways, give us 60 frames, goddammit. That's all we want from either Xbox or Sony. Who can ever deliver that? Not 5% of our games having it. Of course, backwards compatibility, that's actually believable. They got so much shit for the last one that, Microsoft kind of showed them what's up, and then they made their ghetto version of reselling a year. Like, fucking whatever. Right. But that being a thing, whatever. And here's where it just gets ridiculous. This is where it goes to just it sounds like a fanboy just making this shit up because they're just adding all this ridiculous bullshit. They even have fucking ray tracing graphics, which is like this really high end shadow affecting physics, ultra realism way that the graphics are portrayed, essentially, to make it super, good looking and wow, I explained ray tracing terribly. All of you PC gamers are going to hate me for this, but that's actually to my point, is the fact that even most high end PC gaming rigs / graphic cards can't do ray tracing.
Yeah.
And that's where it starts to get really ridiculous. And then they also say there's going to be fucking solid state drives. That's so fucking expensive.
Really?
And this is all the stuff they're promising. So 8K gaming, ray tracing, backwards compatibility, believable, and solid state drives. Here's the thing.
It's like a $2,000 system?
Bingo. So to create a PC that can do all of that, first of all, good luck, because you only got a handful of cards that can do ray tracing.
Yeah.
Second of all, you have an even smaller pool of games that even support ray tracing. So why? 8K, why? Most people don't have an 8K monitor. Most people are still getting into 4K TVs now. Just getting into it now.
Yeah, barely.
It's just becoming affordable.
Yeah.
8K is like fucking $5,000 TV. Fuck that.
Yeah.
And then solid state drive, that's cool, but that's so expensive of an option. That's something you'd see in a higher... Even the Xbox One X, I don't think has solid state drive. So here's the problem. Is when Sony, in one of the interviews, was asked... I forgot it was Polygon, however, excuse me for the journalist who did ask... What's the pricing going to be, right? Because here's how history went. The Xbox and PS2 were out. The PS2 dominated.
Yeah.
The 360 and the PS3 came out. The Xbox 360 dominated that generation.
Yep.
PS4 and the Xbox One came out. PS4's dominated. If this trend continues in the way Sony's doing this, they may big dick too hard and may actually let Xbox take the race again if Xbox can get more games and do it right. And with their partnership with Nintendo and playing nice with everyone else, and even wanting to play nice with Sony, but Sony is just giving them the middle finger. Who knows? But getting back to the point, the reason the PS3 failed so hard at first, it grew on to be a great console.
Yeah.
But the reason 361 in the beginning, more games and much more affordable.
Yep.
Does everyone remember the fucking laughable $600 price tag that the PS3 had when it first came out?
Oh.
Fuck them. It didn't sell shit because of
and
that.
the overheating. Oh, it was terrible.
There were a lot of bad stuff. Even by the time I would buy 2 Xbox 360s because of red ringing, I would still only have had one PlayStation 3, which might have overheated by then.
Yep.
So it was just really bad, and they're almost going. It's like I think it was, I forgot if it was Laura Kate or Jim Sterling on the Jimquisition podcast that said it great, where this get too fucking arrogant, and it seems like this is what's happening. Sony, God, and this part I know Jim said, and he said it so great, where Jim was just like, these companies get too arrogant and think that people are buying the brand. But the thing is, they're not. They're going to has the best support and is more affordable and is like reasonable to what you're getting, the value.
Yeah.
He goes, people, at Sony or Xbox think they're buying the Microsoft brand. They're buying the Sony brand. Fuck no. If Sony has no games next gen at launch, so if Xbox and PlayStation both get to the starting line, and Xbox is $200 cheaper and has more games at launch, there's a ton of people who aren't going to wait for PlayStation to get good or get cheap because they know it's going to be 2 or 3 years. They're going to just go ahead and say, fuck it, I guess I'm going to bring in a fucking Xbox for now.
Yeah, exactly.
Even against their will, they just might.
Yeah.
Because, why? So anyways, going back to the thing, here's what the Sony rep said basically when they were asked, and this was a problem. This is where it got scary.
Okay.
he basically said in so many words, well, he said, what's the price? He was asked, what's the price going to be like? Is it going to be affordable? Is it going to be ludicrous? He goes, well, considering what you're getting, it's a pretty good value. Now, what does this mean?
What does that
mean? To make a PC that can handle 8K, ray tracing, and have solid-state drives, do you know how fucking... You're talking at least a 15 on the low end if you got a really good Newegg deal to $2,000 for a PC build. The PC build should actually, in the end, with the right deals and if you know what you're doing, be fairly comparatively reasonable in price because it's going to last you longer than a console, usually, in pricing. So if $2,000 is the PC equivalent...
This is like $2,700 for a PlayStation 5.
So, and here's what's going to happen. They're either going to go to a ridiculous extent, could be the $1,000 console.
Fuck off.
Or they're going to gouge themselves. Like what PS3 did, where they didn't make any fucking money for forever.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
I think PS3 or... Fuck, even the PS2 took a while, but the PS2 wasn't its fault. That was something else. The R&D just killed it. Huh. The PS3 killed itself.
Yeah.
But...
6 axis. Yeah, that's what we want.
Jesus Christ.
Stupid.
But yeah, and that's the thing. So... Oh, they also haven't said whether or not it's going to be called the PlayStation 5. Shut the fuck up.
You know it
if
is.
If Sony names it anything with the PS5, I will be so fucking actually surprised. Because even if it's a failure, I will give them applaud for trying.
Yeah.
Even if they don't fuck it up as bad as what Microsoft did when they do the Xbox 2 coming soon. But anyways, with that being the case, what are your thoughts on kind of that price point it's looking like it's going towards? I think... I'm going to go ahead and go on a record right now and just call it right now. I say they wouldn't be stupid enough. They're not dumb enough to do $1,000. I call it $800 console. I'm calling it right now.
See, I'm going the other way on that. I'm a Sony fan, too. I think they're stupid enough to try and gouge us for $1,200. A $1,200 console. Oh, ray tracing. Like, they're going to hype it up with all that shit.
That's and not going to be available at launch, probably.
Oh, exactly. And there's going to be that 5% of the gaming community that have the income to dish it out and will buy that. And they'll bank off that. And those idiots will make it shitty for the rest of us.
Exactly. And so that's the thing, right? We always talk about setting precedences. And here's the thing, right? Is not part of us, some of us, could buy a $600 console.
Yeah.
And we just, whatever, right? It's only a choice for some of us, right? It's only a choice for some of us. But for those of us who, how many people can't? A lot of people can't.
Like at least 95% of the gaming community.
That can't even drop the 3 for a Switch.
Yeah.
Let alone 6.
In this economy.
Let alone 8, 1,000, 1,200. But that's the thing. I think Sony's getting really arrogant, where they think that they really have built up their value that much. They ain't worth that much.
No.
I love Sony, but they ain't worth that much.
Your exclusives are great, man, but Last of Us 2 is going to come out on the PS4. I don't need the PS5 unless you're coming to bat with something spectacular, something revolutionary.
Exactly. So then now you're trying to compete with, those promises. If they can make an $800 console, let's say they go through with my thing, that has all that and really delivers, that's a bargain, because now you don't got to spend a computer to get that. You can just get it now on a console. Fucking hell. They will actually surpass PC for the first time ever if they can pull that shit off. Right. Yeah, good luck with that.
I love Sony, but Sony's too damn gimmicky. Like, VR's cool, but it's another one of their offshoots.
Right.
Like, hey, let's try this thing out. We're Sony. You'll buy it, right?
Mm-hmm. And so here's what happens from here. So we've all harped on it, and we made our points on the PS5 announcement and how ludicrous it sounds.
No, it's not going to be the PS5.
But here's the thing. What it does, and this is the interesting part of the actual thing, is that it puts the ball in Microsoft's court. Because here's what Microsoft has time now to do things.
Yeah.
They have about 2 months till E3, I believe, to make a big showcase. They're going to have to do several things. They're going to have to try to announce a good price point that'll sound a lot more fair than what Sony's probably going to announce. Because I'll tell you, if Sony can drop this console and keep it at 400, even 500, holy fuck, what a
Microsoft screwed, yeah.
But if they can't, then Microsoft might have an advantage, because again, it goes back to what we said earlier about affordability and library, and that's where the next thing comes in, is if Microsoft can announce some hot. They got to start throwing out some money to get some hot exclusives.
Well, they're already kind of in the lead with their digital console. Like, they're heading in the right direction.
They're in the right direction, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, we'll see, man. It's just, I think, more interesting than what Sony is going to have to try to prove now, because they have, I think they set the bar way too, I think they promised way too much.
No, you're right. They're big dicking too hard. Like, they're trying to be the big man.
And as a result of that, where Microsoft goes from here is truly the interesting part, I think.
Yeah.
So, we'll see from there, but, wow, what a wild console that fucking looks like. We'll see. PS5?
That's
fucking
ridiculous.
I fucking guess.
This is the flying car scenario.
Essentially, right? And going into our final topic, we're going to go into what I think Ubisoft is kind of cool what they're doing. So, obviously the Notre Dame Chapel burned down recently.
Very sad. Very long historical loss.
Exactly, historical monument, stuff like that. Of course, people are talking about, because of course, we're all not big fans of Unity, yada yada, let's get out of the way. You know, John and I, obviously, for anyone who watched us with Let's Play thing, we got much flack for that. Sorry, it was a bad game. I mean, what do you want? But what I do think something good may actually come of it, because when they actually had the Notre Dame in there, they actually had people on the floor take really good photos, keep track of certain things to scale.
Yeah.
So there actually might be valuable information that could help in the reconstruction of the Notre Dame.
Beautiful.
That they actually have. So some good actually might come out of this. And because of that, you know, some good stuff has come out of it. Even though Unity is not it's just not a great game, but universally also disliked.
Yeah. People
have been positive review bombing it for the effort of Ubisoft, kind of like offering to kind of help out. You know, not a fan of the game, but I do like the message that people are trying to get across.
Yeah, that's cool.
And because of that, Ubisoft is also giving away copies of the game to bolster it, and you know, you can try to get your copies on PC at least of Unity and stuff like that. Again, just to support, because what they're trying to do is nice. What this does is it makes it very interesting, where you always hear about the negative stuff in the news about video games. This is a great positive push to kind of be like history and video games and realism and what it can bring to the table when things are more based on actual things, and can provide good reference points like this at any point. Do you have any particular games that either played off of a historical thing or have anything other than Assassin's Creed? Or
to bring that up, I was going to say, one thing I appreciate about the Assassin's Creed series is its push for not necessarily historical accuracy, but at least giving a sense of realism and in-depth in that time period it portrays. The only other one that I think comes close is maybe the Age of Empires series. But that's just for, you know, battle tactics and whatnot. Assassin's Creed is cool. You know, gives you a look into the daily lives of the Greeks, or the French circa Revolution.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh god, of course now any example kind of tries to elude me now that I'm trying to think of historical stuff, because aside from Assassin's Creed, I'm not 100% sure what else, because I like super fictional stuff.
Historical. Yeah, nothing really. I mean,
you have really
loose in my pocket.
Yeah, you got that. So yeah, and then for me, I like the Romance of the Three Kingdoms type thing. So you have Dynasty Warriors that's kind of kept that alive, and they kind of keep those flames and stuff like that. But we are curious, you know, what are your guys's, like, do you have any favorite historical based things that are entirely historically accurate, maybe based on a historical thing, or kind of keep historical stories alive in terms of mythology or anything like that? We're curious what you guys think, or if you guys have any personal examples that you guys can think of. We really do like that. So if you guys have anything and you want to hit us up on that, make sure to hit us up at disconnectedcastmail@gmail.com. Once again, that's disconnectedcastmail@gmail.com. And with that being said, that wraps it up for the week. Where can our lovely listeners find you, Mr. John, on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram at disasterman_music, or on Twitter at EvilDeadGuy.
Anything coming out recently that you want to plug that wasn't plugged at the beginning?
No, nothing.
Just waiting for that EP.
Just waiting for that. Just waiting for that end game.
Ooh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
When does that drop?
Thursday.
Nice.
Thursday. I'm gonna go watch it. Yeah.
God, so soon. Oh God, the volume's on my computer.
About damn time.
But yeah, and you can find me on most social medias at ZD Rucker. And, of course, you can find a lot of my projects. I still haven't updated with the podcast at SlimAsianEntertainment.com, goddammit. You can do that. And you can find us every Monday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time at disconnectedcast.com or your favorite podcast app. We are likely there. So make sure to subscribe to us there so you get the latest updates on whenever we do a main stage episode. Or if we do any of the spin-offs, which we do have another one coming up for Avengers in the near future, whenever that movie is out and about. So we'll go from there. And until then, we will catch you guys next week. Until then, see ya.
Happy 420, our green friendly friends.